All right, guys, welcome back. Now we're going to do number 6 for the review. On number 6, there is a triangle that needs to be drawn. It's not actually written there, and that's what makes this problem a little different and a little more tricky than the other ones, because you've got to be able to figure out what kind of triangle to draw. So as you read the question, it says a plane leaves the ground with an elevation angle of 6 degrees. The plane travels 10 miles horizontally. All right, so let's figure out what exactly that means. So if there is a plane that's taken off that's leaving the ground, and I am not an artist, but I'll draw a little bit of a plane here. So there's my plane. It's taking off, and as it's going, it's traveling up that way. Now it says it leaves the ground with an elevation angle of 6 degrees. What that means is this angle right here, it's going 6 degrees up away from the ground. And then it also says that the plane travels 10 miles horizontally. So that's going to be this number right here is 10 miles. So now we have a picture with a triangle, a right triangle. Right here is that end point of the travel. Notice that it says 10 miles horizontally, which is down here. If it said 10 miles, if it travels 10 miles, just in general, it would be this. Or if it was 10 miles off the ground, it would be this. You got to read the question and make sure you figure out which side that 10 miles refers to. Since it says horizontally, that's how I knew that it had to be the flat surface along the ground. How high is the plane at the time, or at this time is the first question we have to answer. So how high is the plane? Is that asking this or this? Well, as the plane ascends or goes higher, we want to figure out how far off the ground it is. That would be this right here. So for part A, I'll just label that A because it's part A, we want to know that. And then for part B, it says, what's the distance of the plane's path? Well, the plane's path, that's the actual path that it traveled. That's this part of the triangle, so we also need to know that. Okay, so we're going to have to use trig to answer both these questions. So if I have a 6-degree angle here, we'll start with A. We've got to figure out is what the hypotenuse, the opposite, and the adjacent are. Here's my right angle, which means that this has to be the hypotenuse. Here's my reference angle, 6 degrees, which means this A is going to be the opposite. And this is going to be my adjacent then. I'm not going to change the reference angle on this one, so I don't have to worry about changing those. That'll be the same for both these questions. Okay, so now as we start working on this, once again, if you need it, we can write the acronym SOHCAHTOA to help you remember which trig function we're going to use. Are we going to use sine, cosine, or tangent? In this first case for A, we're doing opposite. We're trying to find the opposite, and we know the adjacent, so that would be tangent. So for this first one, we're going to do tangent of 6 degrees is opposite over adjacent, A over 10. So now, in order to get A by itself, we multiply both sides by 10. So A equals 10 times tangent 6. Then we're going to get our calculator and just type in 10 tangent 6. We get 1.05. So that A is 1.05 miles off the ground. So that's the answer for part A. For part B, we are answering the question with the same triangle. We're just trying to find the hypotenuse instead of the opposite. Okay, so for finding the hypotenuse, we know we have the adjacent, and we're trying to find the hypotenuse. So we're going to use cosine on this one. So cosine of 6 degrees, and adjacent goes on top, and hypotenuse goes on bottom. Remember, when we're solving trig and the denominator has the variable, we need to get the denominator, or the variable out of the denominator. So the way that we do that is we multiply both sides by that variable, And then I'm going to write it over here because I'm running out of room. So then I have b times the cosine of 6 equals 10. And then to get b by itself, we divide by the cosine of 6. So then b is going to be 10 divided by the cosine of 6. So then we do 10 divided by cosine of 6, and I get 10.05. So this length b would be 10.05 miles. All right.